significant development, and it has gone viral, and it's the burning of the American flag by the Occupy Oakland protesters. I mean, we've seen the American flag upside down being shown repeatedly, but the burning of the flag, give us your assessment on that. I mean, in some respects, some are saying this is going to hurt the cause. What do you think?
Well, I think what people in the Occupy movement mean when they burn the U.S. flag is that they're saying that that flag no longer and probably never did represent them. It represents the U.S. government, which is a tool of the corporations and of the bankers, and that they're rejecting it. And they're saying we're burning this flag because it no longer represents what we stand for. And they're saying rather we need to create our own institutions and our own society, and we reject the society this flag stands for, which talks about freedom, and then when we pour out in the streets and try to use that freedom, clubs us, maces us, and attacks us. You know, there's so much talk in the media right now and that they're saying that the occupiers didn't have the right to be in Zuccotti Park. But I disagree. Because if you look at Zuccotti Park, every stone in Zuccotti Park was laid by mason workers. All of the iron handles were cast by iron workers. Sanitation workers cleaned that park. But Brookfield Properties, a corporation that owned Zuccotti Park, had nothing to do with it but the fact that they owned it. And that's a real example of how everything works in the United States. The 99%, the working class, creates everything, but a small group does nothing but owns it. And we're trying to overcome that. And as a movement, we're trying to get beyond the capitalist system where 1% owns and the rest creates and gets nothing but a small bit of wages in exchange.
Flag, in one sense, for the people who are doing okay, let's break it down. They have their jobs, they're supporting their family, perhaps deemed maybe something that is violent, but really, isn't that the frustration, deep-rooted frustration, looking at the stats on America when you have so many people on food stamps? I think it's estimated to be about 250 homes being foreclosed every day. Broken families there. So that's where the burning of the flag perhaps emanates from, of people who are frustrated that are exposed to those circumstances.
Well, it is very sad that the media seems to have compassion for what damage being done to a piece of cloth, while there are millions, literally millions of people in prison in this country, which is supposedly free, at higher rates than any other country in the world. There's threats of war going on all around the world. People are under the constant state of violence. This is one of the most violent societies. Police brutality, which has been unleashed on the Occupy movement, goes on against people of color in the United States every day. And the fact that people are upset about a flag being burned, while this is the most violent and one of the most repressive societies, and on top of that, people are losing their homes. Like you said, food stamps, people are barely surviving. The fact that they're concerned about a flag being burned and they're not concerned about all of this is very, very tragic. Because a flag is a symbol, but there is a lot of reality, real suffering going on in this country. And many people are really suffering, and they're voicing their outrage. And if they choose to do it by symbolically lighting a flag on fire, you know, that's their choice. And I think that's what the Occupy movement is referred to as diversity of tactics.